Hello and welcome, guys. In today's episode, we're looking at the supposed hack of Binance's KYC data, as well as a slightly strange response from Binance, and Bitcoin champion Anthony Pompliano going up against a pretty brutal Bitcoin detractor. But kicking off with the alleged Binance hack, it was noted by a few people on Twitter today that thousands of Binance users' Know Your Customer data, KYC data, which includes photos of identification, had allegedly been hacked and leaked onto a Telegram group. Binance boss CZ quickly took to Twitter to allay fears, asking users not to fall for FUD and relaying that Binance was investigating the claims. And the result of that investigation came in the form of an official statement from Binance, noting that an unidentified individual had threatened the firm and demanded 300 BTC in exchange for the 10,000 plus photos the hacker allegedly stole directly from Binance's KYC storage. But Binance didn't actually give in to the extortion, instead refuting that the KYC data came from them, citing inconsistencies with their data and the data that they were provided by the hacker, and citing specifically the lack of a digital watermark. But it seems like this was actually a bit of old news, with the Binance statement, as well as CZ and popular YouTuber Box Mining relaying that this was hacked data dating back to early 2019. It's interesting to note, though, that Binance admits contracting a third-party KYC verifier around that time.
Yo, I just got a lot of very concerned messages from a lot of people asking about the supposed recent Binance KYC hack. There were posts of people's passwords and their identities online saying that Binance KYC has been hacked. So this has been confirmed to be old. So it's not that it's not that it didn't happen, but it happened in January of 2019 of this year. So it's something that's already happened, and I know people have been concerned about it, but it's old news.
Now, don't get me wrong, I dislike FUD as much as the next person, but to trivialize this as false and old and therefore irrelevant is pretty ridiculous. Mainly because there's still the issue of thousands of users' data still in the hands of a malicious actor. If we were talking about Facebook or Google leaking data and the respective CEOs came out and said, "Oh, that's months old, don't worry about it," I think there would be a little bit more of an uproar. Anyway, to their credit, Binance offered a reward of 25 BTC for any info on the hacker. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully we'll see some kind of resolution here that doesn't include just sweeping it under the rug. Maybe Binance and other exchanges can be a little bit more selective when choosing their third-party KYC verifiers in the future. I think that would help for a start. But moving on, we have a new CNBC segment on Bitcoin, this time featuring Anthony Pompliano, aka Pomp, one of the most bullish guys on Bitcoin, up against a CNBC host known as Kevin O'Leary, who is a major critic of Bitcoin. You have to listen to the guy to believe it.
Become a believer, okay? Because I'm a huge skeptic of this. I have my crypto crap wallet. I put $100 into it 2 months ago at a Harvard Business School class at night. It's worth $30.62. Primarily because all the other crap, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar Luminous, blah, 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 blah. What happened to all that stuff? If this is really such a great idea, why is there only one Vegas game working?
Yeah, well, look, I'll save you a lot of headache, right? I'm here to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the most important, and that's the only one that you should focus on. And the reason is, we are now entering a position where it's actually irresponsible for institutions to not have exposure to this asset. And the reason is their job is to find assets that actually can provide non-correlation to the rest of the markets, especially in times of global instability where there's likely to be market drawdowns. Bitcoin is providing that. It's data. It's just math, right? It's not personal opinion. It's not somebody else's opinion. The math suggests that it is non-correlated to negatively correlated to major asset classes.
How much of your own dough is in it?
Yeah, over 50% of my net worth is in Bitcoin, and I don't plan to sell it.
I forbid that. That's insane.
You forbid that.
That breaches everything about diversification and investing. That's crazy.
How much of your net worth is in the stock market?
In any one stock, never more than 5%. In any one sector, never more than 20%. I teach this stuff. You never go beyond concentrations of that nature. 50%, shame on you. That's nuts.
And but the assumption being that what happens here for you?
Yeah. So again, because it is a scarce asset, what you're essentially looking at is the global adoption has to continue to occur, and it's a fixed supply. It's just supply and demand economics. And I personally believe that humans will continue to trust software.
Pomp firmly sticks to his guns there, simply stating the facts about Bitcoin, especially its burgeoning use as a hedge against global risks, which we're seeing recently with the China-US trade war, stocks plummeting, Bitcoin going up, safe havens going up. Pomp also goes on to note that Bitcoin's value derives from its scarcity. These are simple facts, and as I mentioned yesterday, you have to be wary of anyone who forcibly detracts from these features, despite Bitcoin's track history of year-on-year gains. Then you have to look at what their intentions are and what they actually have to gain from their opposition of this asset. So, for O'Leary, for example, it's the fact that most of his capital is in the stock market. Why would he put much thought into an uncorrelated asset except for a hedge? This is just the same as Warren Buffett, who has never invested in gold because of his vested interest in the stock market and his knowledge that a safe haven investing is simply a bet against that interest. Same thing, and maybe we'll all live to see the day that Buffett and O'Leary and detractors such as those guys, regret their decision not to invest. But who knows? But that's about it, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more content, and we'll see you tomorrow.